Peace, family. This video, we wanted to talk about how to find balance within ourselves, individually speaking. That is, if a person wanted to go about balancing him or herself, what are the steps? According to the Law of One series, the steps are only one. That is, we have to start understanding our energy centers, and our energy centers are basically made up by the mind, the body, and the spirit. It's a whole complex. It's a whole. They are not separate from each other. The body, the mind, the spirit. And if we were to find a way to understand the energy centers, because we have energy centers, I have mentioned. Some people refer to them as chakras, and it's very important that we understand that. So this purpose of this, according to the Law of One, is to find a way to balance the chakras. That is so important. And the way we balance the chakra, for example, we talked about there were 7 chakras, and a couple of the videos I did before, and I think this is kind of like an advanced healing for the chakras, you might say, for the energy centers, because if our energy centers are not balanced, we are not able to perform our true purpose on earth. We're not able to wake up to our true self. We're not able to function properly, in all honesty, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychically, physically, sexually. We're not able to function to our fullest extent because of these blockages that could be in different one of these energy centers. And so the root chakra, as I've mentioned before, is located right below the pubic bones. It's like there's a point where if you were to sit on the earth, and there's a point under between the anus and the vagina or the testicles. I think there's a point there. I study medicine, so I study human anatomy, just to make it clear. Anyway, so there's a point there, and that point, for example, that touches the earth, and it's that in that area. So that's the earth. That's your relationship with the earth. Your balance with our balance with the earth. So that chakra is basically a very important energy point. It's the first balancing, and it's the earth. So it has it's the color for that is from the spectrum, the different rays of the spectrum coming from the light. Is the red. Is the red ray, is the red color, and it's right there. So you wanted to heal that, you would probably try to focus on an advanced light. You could give it the red color, or you could just use a regular white light or golden light. But the red, if you wanted to go on an advanced, say a person had a lot of imbalance, a lot of blockage, and they wanted to work on that. It's a very fundamental chakra, because if this chakra is blocked, and everything else is blocked, because that's the first chakra. That's your link, our balance with the earth. And the next one is, it's very hard to understand ourselves if that chakra is not balanced. The first chakra, which is the root chakra, aka the earth chakra for us. And then also the next field of energy that we would work up to would be the orange ray, which is the color orange, and that's linked to the chakra it's kind of like, it's not the navel button, it's like the sacral area, and it's basically in the reproductive area in a way, where the kidneys and the ovaries are located. The bladder are located in that area, you would imagine, and the prostate gland would be located in that area. The fallopian tubes, the uterus for the female, that's all located in that area. So when it's not balanced, for example, when there's a block in that area, the person is very self-conscious. It's very all about personal eccentricities, and as the person have a hard time accepting themselves, they have become very self-conscious. So it's very important to balance that. It's an emotional block when there is a personal emotional block when that's happening. And the best way to try to unblock this is by focusing on that chakra and sending light of love and healing and forgiveness, and preferably the orange color, or it could just be a white light. But the important thing is that the light should be of love, forgiveness, and because that's important. That's one of the major reasons we have a lot of blocks, because of lack of forgiveness and lack of unity. And the third chakra would be the navel area, which is where we have the belly button, and it's the color for that is yellow. It's the ego. It's the location of our ego. And when that's not balanced, we tend to we get into power manipulation. We all about manipulating people with our powers and the people around us, our families and friends. Our social behavior is all about our ego. The bigger the ego, the more the blockage are that are in that area, the navel area. So that's important to try to remove those blocks. Otherwise, we will not be able to wake up to our true spiritual powers, our true selves. That's the solar plexus, and the center, that's your belt. That's our belly button area. And one of the ways to clear that chakra is to infuse it with light, like preferably a yellow light, but fill the light with love, peace, forgiveness. Very important. Fill the light with love and forgiveness. So, and like I said, the bigger the ego, the bigger the blockage is in that particular chakra. It needs to be cleared. But also understand, according to the law of one, the raw material, the first three chakras must be balanced. The root chakra, which is like the earth balance, the sacral chakra, which is like the emotional, personal, accepting ourselves and personal eccentricities, things like that, and the third chakra, which is the solar plexus, I mentioned on the belly button just a minute ago. These three energy centers, they must be balanced, because if there is constant difficulties and your ability to clear those chakras, if we don't clear them, what happens is that we're not able to seek the law of one. Therefore, we're not able to seek our higher self, our spiritual growth, our spiritual self, our spiritual powers, our spiritual awakening, our ascension. We will not be able to go any further if we don't find a way to find a balance to balance these first three chakras. That is very important. So this is one of the reasons I decided to do this video, is to emphasize the importance of the balancing the first three chakras. The chakra number one, the root chakra, which is like the earth balance. You feel like you're off balance when that chakra is blocked. Chakra number two is and you all about sexuality, by the way, when chakra number one is blocked. Chakra number two is it's a chakra that it's all about emotional, it's about self-acceptance, eccentricities, and that's the color orange, and that needs to be balanced. Otherwise, it's all about being very conscious of ourselves and being very eccentric. It's we off balance. And the chakra number three would be the solar plexus, and that's the color yellow I mentioned earlier, and it's very closely related to our ego. Like I said, the bigger the ego, the most likely there is a blockage on that chakra, and we want to find a way to unblock the chakra, so fuel it so the energies line, the pipeline of energy could be free, because the energy calls from the bottom, from the root into the sacral, into the navel chakra and upward. And so that's all I'm talking about for now, and I'll leave it like this, and I'll do another video on the second part of the other chakra. But those are the first three chakras are very important in order to find peace, love, and happiness. Okay, until then, I love you. Peace, love, light, and forgiveness. Thank you.